Chapter 4. The Assessment Session. So, you've arrived at the day of your assessment session. Dress like you would for any other job interview. If you turn up in shorts and a singlet, you're not making a great first impression. And remember how important body language is. The medical assessment will include height and weight measurements, vision and hearing tests, and you'll have to provide a urine sample. Some roles will undergo additional specialist testing. A head-to-toe examination, including tests for flexibility, will be conducted by a doctor. If you feel more comfortable with someone else in the room, medical can organise a chaperone for you on the day.
The purpose of the medical examination is to evaluate any pre-existing medical problems and ensure your fitness for service. On your assessment day, you will first see a nurse who will undertake some basic testing, and then you will see a doctor who will go through your medical history questionnaire and then conduct an examination. For your examination, you will be undressed to your underclothes for a tip-to-toe examination.
During the psychological interview, you'll be asked a range of questions to determine how you're likely to cope living in a military environment and how effective you'll be in your chosen role. If the psychologist believes that you're not yet ready to join the ADF, the reasoning behind the decision will be explained and the psychologist will discuss your options with you.
The Defence Force is a unique and demanding work environment in which you'll be faced with challenges, both physical and mental, that you will not encounter in most other workplaces. So the psychology interview will be asking you questions about your family, your education, your employment, relationships, interests and other activities. In the Defence Force, the actions you take and the decisions you make could have implications for your life and well-being and that of other people.
Here's one of our candidates in the middle of the defence interview, another stage of the assessment session. He's taken the time to research the ADF and the job he's interested in, and he's confidently answering the majority of the defence interviewer's questions. Note his presentation and positive body language. This candidate looks headed for a successful outcome. Let's take a look at another candidate, someone who isn't quite as well prepared. Joseph here has had a quick look on a couple of defence websites and that's about it. He can't even explain the job he's applying for, or the training requirements. And he hasn't considered any of the important personal issues, like how he would feel if he was deployed in a combat role. Going by the defence interviewer's reactions, it looks like Joseph won't be going much further.
The aim of the defence interview is ultimately to find out if you're suitable for life in the Australian Defence Force. So we're looking for a few things. One is an understanding of the job you're applying for and your suitability for life in the Defence Force as well. Okay? It is a lifestyle, not just a regular job. So we're making sure that you're suited to the life and you know what it's all about. Best way to prepare is have a look at the job on defencejobs.gov.au on the website and research all about the job, whether it be the training requirements, how long you have to sign up for, the policies and conditions of service of the Australian Defence Force, as well as where you're going to get posted to. All these things are fairly important because if you don't know what to expect, well, you're probably going to go, wow, I don't really want to do this. We're making sure an understanding of what you're applying for. So that's the best thing you can do.
So now it comes down to how well you've performed. Entry into the ADF is highly competitive, and a lot of the job categories simply won't have the amount of training vacancies to match the number of applicants. It's these factors which decide whether or not you eventually receive a letter of offer, your official Australian Defence Force job offer. All officer entry positions and a few general entry positions have an additional step in the application process called a selection board. We're about to discuss officer selection boards in detail, but if you're interested in a general entry position which has a selection board, just take a look at the additional requirements for that job on Defence Jobs. Coming up next, Officer Selection Board.